Custom Cutz has been family for me for years.
Bucky is a mentor, a friend, and a great leader.
And he's someone who's always pushing to do better.
This guy's been looking out for me ever since I was just in high school.
He's very determined, and when he makes up his mind to do something, nothing is going to stop him.
Growing up as a kid, you know, in the projects, you know, didn't really have much, you know, hopeless. Everyone in the neighborhood didn't have no dad. Nobody really had no dreams. Everybody was just out there doing whatever they wanted, you know. But I always felt inside that there was something special about me. You know, something about Sean that was just different than everybody else, you know. And I feel like barbering really brought that out for me. You know, it really brought out my expression. It really brought out my artistic way. It really brought out like the business side of me. So I feel like that's who I am, you know. Buckythebarber is who I am. And this is who I want to be, and I just feel like I'm growing every single day into that person, becoming that person more and more and more and more. And yeah, this one is for you guys. My name is Sean Lewis, aka Buckythebarber, from Pickering, Ontario. We have 2 locations, one in Pickering and one in Whitby. I'm the owner of Custom Cutz, and I've been the owner for about 16, 17 years now. Yeah, Custom Cutz is like my #1 baby. I love it. I've been growing it for years and years and years. And I just love the whole vibe of barbering. I love the whole vibe of having a team. I love the whole vibe of ownership. I love the whole vibe of freedom. I love the whole vibe of creating every single day. So by the time I was 9 years old, I started cutting my own hair. By the time I was 10 years old, 11 years old, I was cutting my friends. By the time I was 12 years old, I was cutting all the kids in the neighborhood and their dad, you know? So I realized that I like barbering, you know? I like the whole talking, I like the whole interacting with people. I like to see the look on people's face when I give them a wicked haircut, you know? When they're happy with what they have, you know? I think that's like one of the biggest enjoyments of being a barber, is just seeing the reaction on people's face when you give them a wicked haircut, the appreciation that they have. And I think that's what makes me want to be the barber that I am, you know? And I think that's what really pushed me and motivated me to get through all the hard times, just knowing that, you know, I love what I do, you know? And there's so many other jobs out there that people could have had, that people have that they don't love. So I was just happy to be able to have a job that I love, you know, that wakes me up in the morning, that keeps me inspired and keeps me motivated to take on all the journeys and all the hardships that owning a business has to incurs, you know?
Working for Bucky has been amazing. Since he opened this location, you know, I kind of came on board. Bucky's way of doing business is, you know, on point. You know, it's a pleasure working here. I'm working for a good guy, and I'm, you know, making sure the community knows that we're a family here. You know, Bucky brought a lot of us together as a unit. So, yes.
I would say from the time he was 11, he knew he wanted to be a barber. And he would bring his friends in the garage, and he would cut their hair. And I thought it was a phase, but as he got older, he kept up with the cutting of the hair. A friend of mine took him in, and he stayed with her for a while. But I think she kind of taught him a few things that he needed to do. But I think it looked like he was doing better than she was. But he had ambition. He wanted more. And then he went on to work with another guy in a barbershop, and I think he had like 4 chairs. But they did okay, but he was very ambitious. He wanted more. And the guy, he moved out, and I think where he lived there was a unit at the bottom where he could cut hair, so he left. And Sean took over, which made me very nervous, because He's all by himself. He's got to bear the whole load. And he was only maybe 20. And how is he going to do this? But he's very determined. And when he make up his mind to do something, nothing is going to stop him.
All right, this is the area. This is Glengrove. This is where I came. This is where I moved when I came from Montreal in like 93, 94. This area was an amazing area, man. I learned a lot in this area. A lot of talent came out of here, a lot of sports guys, a lot of rappers. There's a lot of, a lot of talented people came out of this area, even till today, A lot of people came out of this area because this area was like, it wasn't an easy area, It was kind of a little bit of a rough area still, but we did good, man. All of us really did good, Shout outs to the bench there where Fab is, That's a big bench, Everybody knows that bench, Everybody knows David Preston, So yeah, this is Glengrove, man. Glengrove was a beautiful place to be, It was amazing as a kid. A lot of people were out there having fun, and just being kids, being kids and being teenagers. And yeah, this is where we got a lot of our inspiration to become, well, at least I did, a lot of inspiration to become more, and just to want more in life. Just because, when you see like the downside of life, you kind of just want more, And this is one of those areas. So a lot of guys came out of here and they wanted more. And this is it, buddy. This is the place that we love,
So one thing I can say about Bucky is that it was really nice to see him kind of grow his business from renting a chair in a very, very, very small shop to kind of moving his way up to another one and now having 2 different locations that's completely packed and doing extremely well. I find that really motivating, and he's someone who's always pushing to do better.
My name's Dimitri. I'm a client of Bucky's. I've been going to him ever since 2010 when I was just a little boy. And pretty much it's been like the greatest service I could have ever asked for. This guy's been looking out for me ever since I was just in high school. And since he was just in Maple Ridge, I was going to him and throughout college. And now transitioning into this big, luxurious shop, he's still holding down the same service for me. I'd be going on a vacation and I'll reach out to this guy the day before. And even if he's busy, he'll clear his schedule just to get me a cut. I'll tell you what, even this beautiful gift he gave me, it's accurate. Custom Cutz, I'd recommend as the #1 barbershop.
Come into the shop, it's a warm environment. They've always got the tunes on. There's always a good vibe. There's always good laughs. It's just, it's a second home from home for me. And then coming to the chair, seeing Buck, it's like I never left. We always catch up. It's always a good time.
What I've seen and appreciated and respected is the growth of this incredible shop. He's right next door to me, attached to my shop. To see his growth, to see his challenges, to see his professionalism, to see his mannerisms with his neighbors and his employees and clients is amazing.
But being the owner of a barbershop for the last 16, 17 years has been probably one of the hardest things that I have done in my whole entire life. It's not only about being an owner, to me, it's about being responsible for multiple barbers. I started off as being responsible for like 2, 3 barbers. Then I ended up being responsible for maybe 6, 7. And in the end, I ended up being responsible for about 20 different barbers, The bigger my business got, the more serious my business got. The more serious it was to have barbers, the more serious it was when you lose barbers. Losing barbers was one of the most critical things in my whole career. If you ever took a look at my book, The Essential Manuals to Owning a Barbershop, if you read it already, you would understand, because in that book, I talk about literally detailed events that would make somebody that doesn't have a strong heart or the passion to want to be a barbershop owner quit. You know what I mean? Because it didn't just only affect my business life, it affected my personal life as well, right? Like, being an owner is something that you can't turn off. Being an owner is something that's 365 days a year, 7 days a week, It's not just your problems in life that you have to deal with anymore. It's everybody's problems. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I'm saying that it has to be dealt with, right? These are things that have to be dealt with. If somebody has issues in the shop, you have to be able to make business decisions on all these different events that happen with different barbers. You have to be able to make the right decisions that won't affect you in the long run to keep the business thriving. You know, some of the decisions that you're gonna have to make as being an owner are gonna be okay. Some of the decisions you're gonna have to make are gonna be hard, and some of them are gonna be easy. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be a decision that's gonna affect your business, right? Man, what can I say? Without God, I would be nothing. And without my mom, I don't know who I'd be, you know? I feel like moms are a big part of young males, especially without dads coming up, you know? And I just want to give a shout out to all the moms out there that are out there going hard for their kids, trying to give them the best future and installing the best morals that you possibly can so they can come up to be the best leaders possible, you know? I don't think there's a lot of enough shout outs, you know, about the single moms out there because it's not easy, you know? And like I said, I'm from the hood and that's all we have is single moms out there. So big up to all the moms, you know, big up to all the hardworking moms with 10 jobs, big up to all the moms that came from a different country, you know what I'm saying, to a place like Canada where you came from a foreign country and it was super hard to do what you had to do. You know, just never think that, you know, us boys, we don't respect it because we do respect it. You know, we do love it. And we're happy that we got to come to a beautiful country and be the people that we are today, you know. Without God, I would literally be nothing. I feel like I'm like a rose that came out of the concrete. Yeah, like a rose out of the concrete.